Hello everyone and welcome back. I've had to take a little bit of a week off because I was ill last week, but we're going to start off strong with a HEL-PIT Abomination, one of the coolest monsters available to the Skaven. This is going to be a bit of a challenge video as usual because I'm going to try and paint one as quickly as possible, and I'm also going to use a brush which is basically crying to be put down. I was going to buy some more brushes before, but unfortunately I got ill and didn't really want to risk going out and, passing out somewhere. So as per usual, I've primed it up in White Scar. This is a fantastic model for that because we're going to be using as many contrast paints as possible. And once again, if you're looking for the specific paints, they are listed in the description below. So for the first time in a while, we're not going to be pre-shading. We're going straight all over with the flesh tones, and that's going to be with Guilliman Flesh. I know some people like going with some lighter colors, but I feel like this works well for what I want. And there's going to be multiple colors to hit here. Now, this model is like 90% flesh, so you're going to be hitting it quite a lot. Don't worry if you hit the spines. If that happens, you can always hit it with some White Scar or some Corax afterwards. You could definitely be messy here. A lot of the other paints that you're going to be putting on are either metals, so they're going to really go over without a problem. So don't be worried. Just kind of go all out. Get a big brush if you've got one. The bigger the better. As long as you're able to control the flow of the paints, you should be fine. Pooling is a big issue when it comes to big models. You want to really avoid that where possible, especially when it comes to ones that are kind of like this. It's not really flat panels, but they might as well have a little bit of panels on them. All right, we're not done with the flesh because now, since it's dry, we're going to hit it with Carroburg Crimson all over. Now, you might be wondering why this, and this is because one thing I really like about the HEL-PIT Abominations is they're stitched up. They are literally abominations. So the Carroburg Crimson over the Guilliman Flesh is going to give it that kind of raw meat. You know when you've scraped your leg a little bit but blood's not coming out? That's what you want. Or when you've chafed too much. I want it to look sad and ugly because it needs to really be that monster that is in constant pain. This is why it's unbreakable. This is why literally it's too horrible to die. The Guilliman Flesh and the Carroburg Crimson is going to be most of the work that you're going to need to do on the model, so just have a little bit of fun with it and just take your time. Again, avoid pooling or else you're going to have some issues there, but for the most part, it's just giving it that extra tonnage. Trust me, it looks so much better. The great thing about a HEL-PIT Abomination, by the way, is you can just paint it however you want and just really have a lot of fun with it, but these are paints that I really enjoy when it comes to just making sad flesh. You're going to see that a lot when I bring in the gigantic chaos spawn that I need to do, which I really need to paint at some point. So yeah, maybe I should actually start cleaning up the resin. I'm using Corax White to fix up any spillover in case, there's straps that I don't want to be flesh tone, or just if it's gone into areas that I know I'm going to have to hit with different colors. Same thing with the teeth. There are a lot of teeth. There's a lot of heads on this model. You're going to want to make them Corax White just to make sure that the bone color that you're going to put on afterwards is going to flow well and not kind of just look like an extra shade. And before you ask, yes, I have a fresh, clean water pot over there, which is just being used to dilute the white. I used to have a pot of white that was already diluted, but it exploded. Skeletal Horde for the bones. There's a lot because it's not just one of the heads, but you've got a bone weapon. Well, it depends on how you've actually built this, but there's loads of spines too. You want to hit that with Skeletal Horde just to give it a little bit of different color there. And yeah, it's pretty good. Honestly, I've been using that Skeletal Horde a lot for my vampire accounts. There's going to be a few videos on that very soon. And the question is why I don't use White Scar for fixes if I use White Scar as a base. And it's mostly because at this point, you want it to darken down. So the Corax generally is a bit darker, and I feel like that's probably the better way to go. Again, people have different methods, and that's the great thing, there's so many ways that you can go around just building and painting your Warhammer. Lost a little bit of footage when recording this one, but it's fine because I was able to kind of go back and just see what I missed. So when it comes to just the basic leather bits, because there's a bunch of straps on this model, snakebite leather. Again, a lot of browns. You can use some darker colors if you want, but I feel like it does mesh quite well with the reddish skin tone there. And it's basically just around the arms, depending on the type of arm that you've gotten. And there is a strap on the back that goes on the side. Honestly, in some cases, you won't even notice some of the straps. There's a lot of stitches there too, so I've decided to actually use snakebite leather on the stitching too. I'm not doing all the stitching because, look, there's a lot in this model, and this is something really important. When it comes to a model like this, it's probably better to do sub-assemblings, but the problem is that it's obviously like a one build thing, so it can be a little bit difficult to do sub-assemblies for. There's so much to this model, little details that you kind of get into as you start progressing, that I had to start going back going, oh, I missed a spot. Oh, I missed another spot. All right, we're basically near the end of the model already. There's Wyldwood coming up, and that is, of course, going to be Wyldwood. I love that paint. Also, I didn't miss the bone on the head and the claw. I'm just doing those a little bit later, because with this model, I've just been kind of going for specific parts just to get it out of the way and just go section by section. But yeah, Wyldwood, very good. You don't even have to do anything else to it. It's such a fantastic brown paint. I've been using it on bows, on dryads, practically everything, and it just feels like one of the best contrast paints that actually does work like a bit of a shade and a highlight in its own right. It's that freaking good. Runelord brass coming in for a bit of the metal. I'm doing half in Runelord and then half in Leadbelcher. The idea here is just to have different types of metals, just to have a little bit of different stuff. Like, I did want to use some warp block bronze, but I figured, you know, I'm going to have 13 of these guys up and running. I might as well just have some different stylings, different paint jobs. Maybe I'll even do one in all white, like the box art. It's kind of cool, but we'll get to that when we cross to it. So a little bit of everything just to kind of get up there. You've got to be a little bit careful here. You don't want the metals to stain at all. Runelord brass is not very stainy, and you can kind of deal with that, but once you start going on to the other stuff like Leadbelcher, yeah, can have a few little problems here and there. And I am hitting it with the water, so don't you worry. I am thinning it down to make sure that it comes in a decent amount. If I have to hit it twice with a second layer, that's always the better way to go. Straight off the pot is not a great idea when it comes to the metals, because they are very thick paints. Well, most of these paints, not a good idea to hit them straight out of the pot. I'm tempted to start doing others because they look great, and I would love to finish off all 13 of them. But yeah, the Eshin army that I've just started really needs the attention. There's going to be a lot of Skaven. It's starting to awaken something in me. I've already done one Skaven video, and now I'm on the second. There's likely going to be like 2 or 3 more. Oh boy, this is just going to be a problem, isn't it? I'm using Ork Flesh for the Warpstone fire that's coming out from the weapon. Alongside, there are a few chunks of Warpstone littered across the body. I know some people use Warp Lightning. To be honest, I would too, but I've been ill, so I've not had time to actually go out. And to be fair, Ork Flesh, very dynamic paint, useful for a lot of different ways. I've actually got a number of pots with that, and it's not just because I'm painting a lot of greenskins, it's just I really do like this green. It's, again, a really good paint. It's very obvious now, after a decent amount of years that contrast paints have been out, that, yeah, I've got a few favorites, and I like to use my favorites when possible. Trust me, like, when I'm going to do some others, like, it doesn't always mean that it's going to be the same paints over and over. Slowly picking up the full range. And lastly, we've got Black Templar. So I'm using it for 2 things. One, I'm watering it down heavily and then just putting it on the top of the model just for a little bit of stainage. And then 2, it's for any extra just pipes to make them black, just to have a little bit of extra different bits of color. I know black is more of a shade than anything else, but you know what I mean. The idea is have something just to make it pop a little bit more. It's funny because, like, there's not really that much that needs to happen when it comes to this model. It looks kind of all over the place, but yeah, like, there's not that many paints that you need to do to make it look decent, at least in my opinion. As always, I'm going for a battle ready standard, so I'm not going like with loads of highlights and stuff like that. I don't think that's really needed, because when you want it battle ready, you just want it to go on the table, you want it for a game. Contrast paints do wonders for that type of stuff, and I honestly have seen my armies get painted a lot quicker. These don't have to look pristine too. Skaven are supposed to be filthy. You can't really make them pristine because it just doesn't look right. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I used Eshin Grey and then Basilicanum Grey for the little piece of stone that he's standing on with one of his arms, and obviously Evil Sunz Scarlet for the eyes, just to make sure that the red eyes pop a little bit more, which I don't think shows too well on this. I'm still trying to get used to the light box, but hey, I'm learning. And yeah, this was basically done in about an hour. I wish I could have timed it properly, but like I did lose a little bit of footage because like OBS was being weird. But yeah, like this is the best thing about this model. It looks like it's very busy, but it's not. With just a good few shades here and there, and you can darken it down a little bit more with some Nuln Oil. It's all good to go. I haven't really done too much on the base, just put like mud and grass and stuff. I really want to hit it with some rocks, but I need to buy some new materials and kind of get it all up and running. This is going to be for a clan molder based army, because yes, I am going to be doing multiple clans just to finish it up, because I have a half a molder army from way back in the day, and it's about time that I finish it. And yeah, I mean, Hell-Pit Abominations, right? Doesn't get more clan mold than that. Well, I mean, Wolf Rats and the rest, but those didn't go to Legends. Because I guess Games Workshop forgot. Big sad. But yeah, this is my take on Hell-Pit Abomination. Pretty sparse, simple. The only thing that actually took a lot longer was the build. The build was frustrating. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below to start a bit of a discussion. There will be another video this coming Sunday. I do apologize that I had to take a week off, but yeah, your boy was ill, and these things happen. Hopefully I'll get to a point that I'll be able to have some videos just like already preloaded, so if anything happens like that, I won't have to worry again. But yeah, have a good one, guys.